day, viewers. You're welcome to another episode of Legal Matters brought to you by Studio 77. I am your favorite host, Ajayi Peace Esther. You can also call me PEAMAT Voice. If this is your first time of watching Legal Matters is a program where we enlighten, educate, and make people aware of what their rights are and what their rights are not, what actions or inactions shouldn't be done against them. So let's dive into the legal case 1. Yahaya Bello's 110.4 million naira fraud trial. And now let's dive into the first case on today's episode. Now this case has made me ask, when those entrusted with our public funds are charged with serious allegations, how do you expect citizens to trust them? How do you expect we the citizens to trust them? And that is Yahaya Bello's 110.4 billion naira fraud trial. Former Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello is facing a 16-count charges of criminal breach of trust and money laundering amount to 110.4 billion naira. The charges include allegations of misappropriating state funds for personal use, such as acquiring properties and transferring large sums to foreign accounts. Now let's underline personal use. I mean, the money is meant for the public. So how did personnel get into this matter? Let's see what the court has to say about this. Initially, the Federal Capital Territory High Court denied Bello's bail application, citing its premature filing before his arraignment. However, on December 13, 2024, the court granted him bail set of 500 million naira with stringent conditions, including the surrender of his international passport and provision of sureties owning properties within the court's jurisdiction. Now, the law did the right thing, as it always does. And so I love what the law did there, and it brings to us that even if the public, the people who are helpless in this state, the law keeps fighting for its people. It's there. The law keeps fighting for them, and that was what played out in this case. Let's move on to case number 2, and this is the Ahmed Idris 109 billion naira embezzlement case. So if the nation's chief accountant is implicated in massive fraud, who then safeguards our personal interest? Who safeguards our financial integrity? Ahmed Idris, the former Accountant General of the Federation, along with a co-defendant, is on trial for allegedly diverting 109.4 billion naira through fraudulent means, including bogus consultancies and non-existent contracts. The funds were reportedly laundered through real estate investment and other channels. How? Okay. In July 2022, the court granted bail to Idris and his co-defendant with conditions such as the surrender of international passports and affidavits as showing compliance with bail terms. The trial is ongoing, with the court emphasizing the seriousness of the charges. Now, what do I have to say about this? Is the fact that the judgment is collect their international passports, affidavits. Is it because they know that they got all this money to travel out? Or let's think this way, probably because the judgment has not been made fully, because we heard that the trial is ongoing and the court is emphasizing the seriousness of the charges. So I think once they embezzle this money to travel out, you want to travel, you want to leave the country, you want to leave Nigeria, and put who and leave us where, and I 109.4 billion naira. My question: how did they get the money first? Where? There's no money now. We're all shouting there's no money. So where did they get 109? I mean, it's level by level, because the governor was 110.4 billion naira. Now they are not even leaving the billion. We have not seen anyone with million. So who is next? And probably if someone higher, the money will be more. This is unfair. This is bad. This is outrageous. This is not good. I'm so pained because this is bad. But I mean, we are glad that the law is fighting for us. Is fighting for our rights in this regard. And that is enough. That is great. So case number 3, and that is Comfort Sanga versus Adamawa State government. Now, should a retiree after decades of service endure delays in receiving rightful benefits? I think this is something that we are familiar with our old people, our grannies, our grandpas. We tend to go with them to where they receive their money, or some of them, they owe them a lot of money. So let's see what this case is about. Comfort Sanga, a retired civil servant, sued the Adamawa State government for failing to pay a gratuity and delaying her pension for 7 months without justification. She had served the government for 35 years before retiring in November 2021. Now, I see someone that is so strong and knows her right. I mean, they delayed their pension for 7 months. Some people's pension have been delayed for for how much time? And so we see that Comfort Sanga knows her rights, and I love how intentional she is. And so let's see what the court has to say about this. In January 2025, the National Industrial Court ordered the Adamawa State government to pay Sanga 1,583,553 naira 0.88 kobo in outstanding gratuity, which is 246,305 naira. 246,335 naira in unpaid pension, and 500,000 in general damages, and 500,000 in legal costs. The court criticized the government's unjustified delay and lack of evidence for any policy causing the delay. Now, this is when I say, go Lord, because the law did great things here. I mean, the court didn't disappoint. The law never disappoints. It never does. And I think where we have to do our job, where the work is to be done, is about your rights. I mean, Mrs. Comfort just didn't see pension there was a delay for 7 months, and what did she do? She went to the court. She went to the court of law and complained, and the result is encouraging. I mean, to those that know their rights, and to those that do not, that know your rights soon, know your rights now. Now let's move on to the last case for today, which is the Enugu State Landlord and Tenant Bill Amendment. We've been discussing about landlord and tenant issues, tenant giving their landlord issues and landlord giving tenant issues. Remember in the last episode where the tenant owed the landlord for how many years? For a long time, and it went to the court of law, and of course the law defended him. So let's see what is happening today. In March 2025, the Enugu State House of Assembly advanced a bill to amend the 2004 Landlord and Tenant Law. The proposed amendment aims to cap agent and legal fees at 10% of the annual rent and eliminates arbitrary charges like caution fees, which are often non-refundable. This move seeks to protect tenants from exploitation and making housing more affordable. Now I can see students jubilating over this judgment, and this makes me happy because really tenants are being charged. You hear light bills, water bills, yeah, these bills, and I'm like, I paid my rent, I've paid for this house, so if anything, just add it together. Then I know for this month I'm paying this. It's not bring this bill, bring this bill, bring this bill. And luckily, the law has stopped this already. And of course, again, the law has supported us and keep standing for us. So we've come to the end of today's episode on legal matters, brought to you by Studio 77. I know you've been encouraged. I know you've learned a lot. I know this program has been educative. So what did you learn? Let's say in the comment section. This is Legal Matters, brought to you by Studio 77. I am your favorite host, Ajayi Peace Esther. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe to all our social media platforms. Studio 77. I remain Ajayi Peace Esther. You can also call me PEAMAT Voice. Bye.